Thank you, Eva. Thank you, all of you, for being here today. We hope that you are all having a great day full of learning at Live Curious, Go Beyond. Our session, as Eva said, is how to foster social emotional skills in preschool during distance learning. And I'm going to be co-presenting with Vivi Zertuche. We work together at ASFM in nursery with 3, 4, and 5 years old in our classroom. So this session is really preschoolish with little young students. We're going to watch a lot of videos and a lot of pictures on how we embedded SEL skills into our daily teaching. Before we start, we want to talk a little bit about us. I have been working with preschool students for around 15 years. 10 years here at ASFM, some years in nursery and some others in pre-kinder. And before ASFM, I worked in another school and also in some other places where inclusion happens a lot. So I really like this theme, SEL, and also inclusion. So this is my passion. I hope you like it. I hope you get great ideas and strategies that you can really implement in your classrooms right away on Monday. Vivi?
Okay, so hello, my name is Viviana Zertuche. I have experience working in preschool for 6 years. I have been working in nursery and in kinder, so 2 different grade levels. And as Karina mentioned, we both believe that having social emotional skills is essential for the well-being and mental health of children and adults. And we know that as preschool teachers, we have the responsibility to set those strong foundations so that they are at a good starting point to continue developing those skills throughout the rest of their lives. And so we're gonna start by defining what is SEL to you. So if you want to write in the chat, what do you think it means for you?
While you write, I just want to tell you that we will make this session very interactive by asking you to participate in the chat, as Vivi said. And we will also encourage you to share strategies that you also implement during distance learning in your own virtual classrooms. So lifelong skills that students will need to develop to be successful in life. The act of explicitly teach these skills through any ways. Social emotional learning, how kids and their feelings showcase through the day. Skills necessary to have a healthy relationship with one's own emotions and feelings, as well as learning how to manage and understand them. Skills to relate to others, learn how to manage different emotions through different situations. So a lot of feelings, emotions, management.
So we're gonna give you our definition that matches lots of the things that you have said. So for us, social emotional learning is the attitudes, behaviors, and skills that children need to interact effectively, maintain healthy relationships, achieve social goals, and be successful in all areas of their life. We want to mention that we know SEL is really important in education, but also in human development. Right now in the 21st century, we have access to information at our fingertips, and we are all connected with one another through social media. So we believe that the most important thing that we need to have right now is social emotional intelligence. We also want to mention that in order for social emotional learning to take place, it requires a self-caring and supportive environment where the competencies can be taught explicitly through modeling and daily practice. A teacher needs to show her students that she has healthy relationships with other teachers, that she herself can calm down in times of stress. Students cannot learn if the teacher doesn't apply it. And another thing that is very important to mention is that they can always be strengthened and improved. I don't know if you have met people that say, I have a really bad temper, and when I get angry, I shout or I make a tantrum and I get angry at everyone, and that's the way I am. And no, that's not the case. it takes time. You need to think about strategies and you need to practice it, but you can always improve these skills. And for us as teachers, what better to do it when students are little, change those behaviors from the first ages.
Thank you, Vivi. So what are the benefits of teaching SEL into our classrooms? So these are life skills that we as adults and little kids need to be successful socially, emotionally, and academically. They are the groundwork for academic success. So I mean, it is the baseline, as Vivi said. We all need these skills in order to be successful and to learn and to be happy. And if we are happy and if we relate successfully with each other, academic success happens. Reduce behavioral problems. So often behavior problems are the results of some deficit in some skills, like problem-solving skills, managing emotions, working with others. So if we teach students how to relate, how to solve problems, how to make responsible decisions, their behavior will improve too. Okay, so right now, adults get jobs because of their SEL, emotional intelligence skills. So jobs require social skills that can share, cooperate, work with a diverse group of people, have teamwork, collaboration, and good team player. So what we teach right now to young students will pay forward when they grow up and when they look for jobs. Improve self-esteem. So students feel safe and feels in a caring environment when you teach SEL. So they will feel ready to share, to participate, and to be who really they are, to relate and to interact with others during school hours. Promotes mental and physical health, as I said. So this includes a caring environment, feeling safe and respected. And then students learn how to recognize, how to name their feelings, how to share their needs, wants, thoughts, and how to relate with each other. So that's why it improves the mental health. And promotes a positive environment with healthy relationships. I have been talking about this. Feeling good about themselves, about who they are, and relating with each other, promote social interactions and relationship skills. So as we told you, we work in ASFM. In ASFM, we follow the collaborative for academic, social, and emotional learning approach, which is evidence-based. Here you can see all the competencies that we work on: self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, relationship skill, responsible decision-making. Of course, with preschool students, we have the opportunity to work more in some of them, and as students grow into elementary, middle school, and high school, they will have more opportunity to develop other competencies. Each of these competencies have different skills, different attitudes, and different behaviors that we will try to show you how to work in your classrooms. So it is very important for you to know that SEL is not something else that you will add to your teaching, okay? So we will show you how to embed all these skills into your curriculum, into your lesson plans. So it's not more work for teachers. You can teach it at the same time that you are teaching your objectives and the curriculum that you're following in your schools.
Okay, so we're gonna start with the first competency, which is self-awareness. And self-awareness is basically understanding yourself, your emotions and thoughts, and how they influence the way you act. And for us in preschool, self-awareness is really important because we consider it the basis for all the other competencies. the student first needs to recognize emotions, identify emotions in his or herself, in order to then be able to do it in others. So we are going to show you a video of how we promote self-awareness in our classroom. And we want you to pay attention because we do not specify the strategies that we use. We want you to try to identify them. So after we watch the video, we will be sharing.
How are you feeling in that picture?
Happy.
Why are you happy?
The animals. Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune.
High five with Roberto. Both of you like planets.
A mí me gusta pintar.
Is that your favorite book, Luciana?
Yes.
What do you like to eat?
Spaghetti.
He is getting his own things. He stood up and he went to get his materials. Great job, Marcel. Good morning, Nursery C. Remember, we are part of Nursery C. No pasa.
Okay.
So after watching the video, what are your thoughts? What did you notice? Did you recognize any skill behavior? Or do you do the same? You can write it down in the chat, or you can just open your microphone to participate. So we will go to the next slide and we will show you some pictures so you can identify what skills, what attitudes, and what behaviors we were working in the video that you saw. So identifying their own emotions. So we did at the beginning of the school year, we did a feelings chart, and now we use it very often to help students identify how they feel. So they just have to show the feelings chart and to point to the feeling that they are feeling. And we usually help students to go a little bit beyond that, like what are you feeling in your body? What reaction your body is having? And so they can be also working in their communication skill, expressing, naming, and recognizing what they feel. We also do a lot of hands-on activities. So it's not only drawing, but also like working with Play-Doh, working with Legos, working with different kinds of materials so they can work on those feelings. It is very important to teach students to verbalize since they are very young, because then when they grow up, we'll help them for their problems resolutions if they know what they are feeling and how to solve the problems. Identifying likes and dislikes. This is like the self-perception. Like what do you like? What are you good at? What makes you unique? And these are some activities that we also do. Writing pieces where they express what they like, what they don't like, what they are good at. And for example, every week we do a me bag. So students have the opportunity to share their favorite toy, their favorite food, and their favorite book. So this is also kind of like getting to know each other. It helps you also with the relationship skills, social engagement, but also like in that self-awareness of their self-perception. And also you're giving them self-confidence because you are giving them the opportunity to showcase what they have at home. And you are building on those communication skills again that makes them feel confident about who they are. And identifying physical traits, this is also very important in preschool, to what makes them unique, to identify differences among each other. recognizing that they belong to a family and to a community. That's also something that you work on to improve their self-confidence. It's in the first picture, it is a drawing of his family. So when they feel love and when they feel that they belong, they are working in their self-awareness. Every single day we start with our morning message. So we are teaching them that they belong to ASFM, and then they belong to our classroom, which is Nursery C, that they are all eagles. So they are learning that they belong to a community. Recognizing strengths. This is also something that you have to teach students how to do it. Like, we are all good for something. And also it is very important to all of these skills, you need to teach them, model them, and practice. This is something that students learn, and we as teachers have the responsibility to teach them. So we also give a lot of participation opportunities where students show what they like, what are their interests. You are giving student voice to these students, and in here you can see that you are increasing the motivation also to be there in our Zoom by sharing what they like. In nursery, they all love dinosaurs and they love planets. So it's a great opportunity also to foster social interactions. And as I talked before, self-confidence. So promoting independence. So we had been noticing, like at the beginning of the year, that our students were just sitting at their tables and just moving their hands like this, sitting down, and mom passing things to them. So we are promoting independence by telling them, like, you know what, you need to stand up, you need to go get your things, you have to be responsible of your own belongings. And then when you finish the activity, you need to put everything away, just as you do it in the classroom. And emphasizing that we all make mistakes. This is a great book. I'm sure you know Tothbar. He has great books that can help you foster SEL skills and inclusion skills. And it's something that you know that preschool students learn by repetition. So it's something that every time that you have a teachable moment during your lessons, remind students it's okay to make mistakes. We learn from mistakes, and mistakes make us be like better persons, better students, better friends.
Okay, so if someone wants to share a strategy, or you can write it in the chat, if there is a self-awareness strategy that you use in your classroom and you want to share with us. And we're gonna do the next strategy. The next competency, is social awareness. It is basically understanding the social and ethical norms or expectations, and also taking perspective, being able to understand how others feel and trying to empathize with them. And we know that young children are naturally egocentric. And for some of them, this is the first time that they are exposed long hours in a social environment other than their families. So we have to open their eyes and make them realize that they are part of a group and that there are rules that need to be followed in order for us to have a positive environment of respect, and make them aware that others have feelings as well. If they feel sad, if they are happy to play with you. And we're gonna show you how we promote social awareness and the competencies or the attitudes and behaviors that go inside of it with this video. And you can write the strategies that you see in the chat, or if you want to share them with us, you can raise your hand. Let me know if you can see there.
Yes.
Okay.
Today is so great. I'm not here today.
Look at his face. How do you think he feels?
He's scared. Porque le van a poner una vacuna.
Can you make a scared face?
Thank you, friend. Thank you, teachers. Thank you, teachers.
So I see in the chat a comment about greeting friends. In the video you saw how we greet each other every single morning. So at the beginning of the year, we started like sharing a presentation with the pictures of our students and then singing the song so they can get to know each other. It's a little bit hard to learn the names through a distance learning environment, so that helped us a lot. And then by now, they already know the name, so we give the opportunity to them, as you saw in the video, to just sing the song on their own. We ask them to unmute, to sing, and to repeat the names of their friends. I also see another comment about the bingo. Yes, we did a bingo to play, and we also include the specialists, our movement music teacher, our learning specialist, and our psychologist in the bingo. So students get to know the whole team. And sometimes we play that bingo during Fun Fridays. I don't know, once a month at least. So let's see what skills, attitudes, and behaviors we have inside the social awareness competency. Learning social expectations. So in here, you are teaching students to show respect to others by greeting, by calling each other by their names, by showing good manners. I don't know if you noticed in the video, but when they have the chance to share or to give compliments, we do that a lot. We give the opportunity to them, like to tell them, Maria, I like how you were playing, or Juan, I like the shirt that you're wearing, like any kind of comments. And then we encourage students to use good manners, to say please, to say thank you. As we are like very limited in time and in social interactions, we try to promote them a lot during our Zoom sessions. So this is the perspective taking that Ms. Vivi was talking about. So we try to teach students to think about the emotions of others through read alouds. And also when we have a teachable moment in our session, we talk about the feeling, and we give the opportunity to students to give some ideas to the friend, like how do you think this guy can feel better? What are some ideas that you can give him? And we also talk about like what actions or events make them feel that way. Understanding that we are all different. This is something that we repeat and repeat and repeat. I don't know if it happens to you, but sometimes students see each other's work and feel like I don't know how to draw, and my friend draws better than me. So we always say, like, we are all different. We have different abilities. Some of us are good, I don't know, at soccer. Some of us are good at reading. Some of us are good at dancing. So this is something that you need to repeat and to show students how diversity happens in our classrooms.
Okay, and we're gonna continue with the next competency, which is relationship skills, that are the skills that allow us to connect positively with others and to start building healthy relationships. In nursery, which is the grade level that Karina and I teach, it's the first year of ASFM. So most of these students don't know each other, and they are faced with the challenge of making new friends. And we as teachers are there to guide them, to teach them those skills, to make those positive interactions and create those relationships. And through distance learning, it has been a challenge because they're not able to to talk face to face, have those random conversations, play with each other. So sometimes we have to give them that little push so that they can have conversations even through a screen. And we're gonna be showing you some ideas. You can write ideas in the chat while you watch the video about how you promote relationship skills in your distance learning classroom. Can you see the video?
Yes, Vivi.
Yes, okay.
Gracias. Happy birthday, Marcelo, que la pases increíble. Thank you. Me gusta el tren de Roberto. Thank you. Ir a mi casa, porque yo sí tengo 2 perros. Los Yana cambian, así que mejor a mí. Que tengas muchas vacaciones. Que viste un reindeer. En verano sí ya he visto. I see a fish. I see a house. I see a sheep.
Alicia. Eugenia. Alicia.
Eugenia.
I see some comments about breakout rooms. We also do breakout rooms, so every child has the opportunity to share in small groups, and we don't have like the 20 little screens there. And morning meetings. Yes, morning meetings are a great opportunity to talk about the day before and to share, and it's something that helps students know each other. I constantly emphasize like, you like to go to the park. Now we know more about you. And then students can start like making those connections of, okay, we are listening to each other's weekend or to each other's after school classes because we are learning from each other, because we are different, because we like different things. Thank you for participating in the chat. Now, let's go through the skills, behaviors, and attitudes that are inside the relationship skills competency. So communication. Inside communication, we can see how students ask and respond to questions, how they listen, and how they, even though they are through a computer, how they are having like eye contact with the camera and how they are looking at the screen, looking for their friends. And we also can notice that their body language, that's also communication. They know how they're learning, how to express wants, needs, how to have acceptable manners like politeness. You saw that they are learning to say please, thank you. And something that we really ask students to do is speaking complete sentences. That's also super, super important because sometimes they just want to say like the word like that. And we to foster that, we teach them like patterns of language, like I like this, or I see this, and we incorporate a lot of movement, so they start like doing those connections. So here you say weekend sharing, birthday wishes, asking questions, giving compliments, speaking in complete sentences. So social engagement. As I said before, SEL is also about taking opportunity of those teachable moments. So as teachers, we have to be aware of these kinds of things, that if you see two students wearing a dinosaur's shirt, like in this picture, just give them a spotlight to both of them and ask them to share what they like, ask them to talk about the dinosaurs, and then they start like doing those social interactions. They are talking with each other and they find out that they have something in common. So you are also building on that relationship. The same here with the girls with the ponies. So in this way, also like this, we are helping them to make new friends and to identify like likes and dislikes in their friends. And teamwork. I know teamwork is something that we work a lot in a real classroom. Students learn to share, to take turns, to cooperate and work together towards the same goal. It's a challenge in distance learning, but in the video you saw how we were creating a pattern and they were like taking turns to create the pattern and cooperate with each other.
Okay, so now the next competency that we are going to talk about is self-management. And self-management is taking responsibility for your behaviors, restraining impulses, regulating your emotions in order to achieve goals. It is also the part of setting those goals and monitoring progress in order to reach those goals. And a really important part of self-management is impulse control. And I don't know if you have seen the marshmallow experiment. Has anyone seen it? That where kids are given a marshmallow and someone tells them, an adult tells them that I will leave you for a few minutes. And when I come back, if the marshmallow is still there, I will give you another one. And you see the children, some just eat it right away. Others are like smelling it. Others are like trying to distract themselves, trying to calm down. So it is hard for them. Self-management is hard for little children. And we as teachers need to teach them the strategies and practice it with them daily so that they can achieve it. And so we're going to show you some of the things that we do. Again, you can write in the chat or you can raise your hand if you see some ideas or have some new ideas about what you do in your distance learning classroom. Okay, can you see the video? Yes? Okay, perfect.
3, 5, listening. Praise and praise and I'm feeling calm and relaxed. Excellent. Who else is doing bunny ears? Muy bien. One more time. Did you add different colors?
Yes.
Check for the colors. Did you add a setting?
Yes.
Where is your setting?
In the beaches.
In the kitchen. So check for the setting. What about time of the day? Hey, check for time. What about the feeling? How do you feel when you are cooking?
No te poní la boca. Me bailó.
You can. That's why we do the writer's menu check.
Thank you, Vivi. So now we will go to the next slide to talk more about these skills, behaviors, and attitudes that you saw in the video. So impulse control. It's waiting for their turn, restrain impulsivity to shout out by raising the hand and speaking when they are called. So here you see one is raising physical hand and the other one is raising the virtual hand. This is something that we have been teaching them lately to use their reactions on the Zoom. And now that they know how to mute and unmute themselves, now they are learning their reactions. Self-discipline. So You saw how we were singing. We call it the routines song. That song, we sing that song every single day before a read aloud. We do read alouds every day. Some of them are targeting SEL skills, inclusion, or the theme of the week. And we remind students how they have to behave or how they have to be good listeners by singing that song. We remind them that they have to be watching, listening, quiet, sitting straight, and raising the hand if they want to participate. Stress management. So we have been teaching them different breathing exercises. The one is balloon breathing. They pretend to have a balloon and they breathe in and then breathe out. Another one is bunny ears. It's kind of the same. You just change the movement in your fingers. And the other one is drain. And after that, we take the opportunity and we ask them, like, how are you feeling now? Do you feel better? When you breathe in, when you breathe out, you relax and you get ready to learn. So it's something, again, that you have to repeat, that you have to tell students, they have to listen to understand. And then the idea, like the purpose of teaching these breathing exercises, right now, they are totally guided by the teachers. But in previous years, when we were present at school, I had moms telling me that we were in the supermarket, he wanted to get a toy, he was in a tantrum, and then he started doing the breathing exercise. So it's something that if you teach it, they will transfer to their daily life. And that's what we want, like the transfer to other contexts different to the one that we're teaching it. And goal setting. You also saw in the video how we were revising the writing piece. We have that writer's menu, and we go over the details that every student has to add when they are writing. And you also notice how this girl said, oops, I forgot to add the mouth. I didn't add the feeling. So you are teaching them, again, that it's okay to make mistakes. And you are also teaching them that we as teachers provide feedback, and they have to receive that feedback in a good manner, and that this feedback is to help them improve.
Now we will talk about responsible decision making. That is the fifth competency, and it is making caring and constructive choices about your behaviors and interactions. It includes solving problems and evaluating the consequences of actions. And we know this competency is a little bit more elevated for our students because it requires analyzing a situation and identifying the problem, coming up with solutions and identifying which solution is the best option. So we have to guide them, like step by step, help them in this process so that later on they can be able to do it by themselves. And we're gonna be sharing how we promote these attitudes, strategies, and behaviors. Okay, can you see it there? Okay, perfect.
Can you show me what you are using today?
Yes.
Okay, Eugenia, why are you using the blocks? Can you explain?
Porque no tengo muchos palillos igual que...
No problema.
Mira qué podemos hacer. Tal vez porque no me da miedo quitarme los trampolín.
¿Por qué, mi amor?
Porque cuando tengo a mi conejito Bubu que se puede mojar, no me da nada de...
Ooh, that's a super good strategy. We can do the bunny ears breathing to feel better, Alana. Come on. This is a pretzel. This is our pretzel. Do you feel better? Thumbs up if you feel better now. ¿Te sientes un poquito mejor? Muy bien. Qué...
Thank you, Vivi. So as Vivi said, this is like a little bit hard for young students, and especially in distance learning, we don't have those teachable moments when they are fighting for a toy or not able to share or having trouble during recess. So students are lacking those opportunities where they have to problem solve, to make good choices. So that's why we are taking every single opportunity in the Zoom session to talk about decision making. So let's go over the skills. Seek solutions to a problem. So here is able to identify the solution to a specific problem with guidance, because as they are very young right now, they need the teacher to be just verbalizing what you are looking, what you see they are feeling, and guiding the conversation. Some strategies that we use when we are at school is to teach students to verbalize, and if this student is having a problem with another friend, just to say, stop, I don't like it. That's something that we do it a lot. We don't have opportunity to do it in distance learning, but we are getting creative with some other things. So we always tell them to use your words instead of pushing, hitting. So use your words, and try to communicate how you feel. Look for support. That's another solution to a problem. And also, we always reflect on the behaviors, like make them think, is it okay or is it inappropriate to behave like that? Was it a good decision? Was it a good choice or not? And then ask them about the consequences of the choice. So here again, calming down strategies are great for solving problems. Asking for help and looking for alternatives. This is something that it happens a lot during our distance learning teaching. Sometimes students do not have the material that we ask for. So emphasizing and giving the opportunity in your classroom to tell them, okay, but I see that you're working. What are you using? Telling them, you need to tell them like, wow, you are solving your problem, because that's the problem that they are encountering right now during distance learning. Reflection and feedback. So in self-management, we talk about the breathing exercises and the strategies to stay calm. So after that, as teachers, we need to guide that reflection. Like, okay, I saw that you were breathing. Now, how do you feel? Do you feel better? Do you need to do something else? Do you need to go for a walk? Do you need to drink water? Do you need a hug? So that's something that you need to verbalize and talk a lot with your students. And incorporate ethical responsibility. So this is something that students need to learn, like be able to name different ways to help others. Again, as we are not in school, we use this with pictures. So look, what is happening in the picture? Okay, he fell down. Now, how can you help him? And then students start giving some ideas, some solutions, and participating. And also reminding them about the Zoom expectations. So students need to identify classroom and school rules. So these are the expectations for our Zoom session. Remember to mute and unmute. Remember to be on time. Remember to have breakfast before or after the session. Remember to respect, and so on. So this is also something that we need to remind students. I heard in another session this morning that keeping the norms alive in our meetings and in our live sessions, in our teaching, it's great for students to know all those expectations. So that's also something that we need to keep in mind. So our conclusion, and I hope that it's also yours, by integrating SEL into every day, into our teaching, into our every single lesson, we are building stronger, healthier, and more successful learners. We are building a sense of community, establishing a safe and caring environment. We are transferring the routines and the relationships to our virtual classroom. So students are developing connections with others, commitment to their learning. They are developing also that sense of belonging to the classroom, to the school. We are recreating the structures. Remember that routines and structures give self-confidence to students. So try to keep what you usually did in your classroom when we were present. Do it here, like the morning meetings, the me bag in our case, closing circles to wrap up our day. We can share in guest readers, the greetings, the routines, and the expectations. So SEL is crucial to reach students' fullest potential in academic achievement and success outside of school. Remember that all these skills that you saw throughout the presentation affect their academic performance. And in these pandemic days, let's keep in mind all these attitudes, skills, and behaviors, and prioritize what our students need the most. So thank you very much for being here today. We really hope that you have some takeaways to transfer to your teaching next week. And we are here for some questions, doubts, or even if you want to share some ideas that help you in your classroom, you are very welcome to share.
If you can share how the bunny ears technique works.
Okay, so they just have to put 2 fingers together and then breathe in, breathe out. Sometimes I ask students to close their eyes, but I also give them the opportunity, like it's your option. You don't have to close your eyes. You just can like watch a specific point, and that's it. And then, like, as I said, you have to verbalize everything so they understand why you are making that. Like, I feel relaxed. A lot of self-talk happens in our classrooms too. So they understand why are we doing that. Like, now I feel relaxed. Now I feel ready to learn. Now I'm calm. And now I can be attentive, for example.
Thank you.